School Zone, the show all about your local districts here in the White Mountains. I'm your host, Amy Tregaskes from Show. I'm an educator, but mostly a parent. Today I have with us Laura Scholten and Cynthia Whipple. Laura is a retired teacher here from the Show School District. Cynthia is currently teaching, and we actually just drug her away from school to shoot this show at the end of the school day. We appreciate your time, both of you ladies. I'd like to start with you, Laura. Why don't you give us a little background about your music education?
So I graduated from high school 40 years ago, and I studied flute in high school with Judy Conrad, who was part of the Phoenix Symphony. So I got a really good start in high school with her. Went to music camp at NAU for 3 summers and then attended NAU, majored in music education, and took 5 years because I performed in the band, the orchestra, the Flagstaff Symphony, the Traveling Woodwind Quintet, and I can't remember what else, but I was in so many performing groups it took me 5 years to graduate.
Yeah, each one of those classes is just like a credit.
1 credit
and for lots of practice.
16 hours a week of rehearsal. So yeah, it was a long haul. And then I returned. Our first job, my husband and I came to Sholo, and we got married halfway through our first year teaching, and our first job was here in Sholo. We planned to stay here, 2-3 years, get a start, and move on. Well, this is year 36.
And
here.
What did you teach at Sholo?
I started out as the high school band director, or I should say I started out as the band director for Sholo Schools in '81. And then in 1986, I took over the junior high choir program. And then in '87, we were able to hire a second band director, and I was able to give up my high school position and do what I love, which was the junior high. But I also taught general music, K-8, and orchestra, choir, band. I did it all.
And you're also part of the Arizona Music Education Association?
I am. I've been a board member for 7 years. I served as vice president for elementary, junior high activities, which includes any and all activities that are run by the Arizona Music Educators umbrella organization. I was in charge of those for 3 years. And I also served as a 6th grade band chair, and now I serve as the retired member and the mentor coordinator for the program. And that's an adjunct position, so I'm not a voting member.
Okay.
So.
Well, thank you so much. If you haven't guessed, or I forgot to tell you, but our program today is about music education and the importance of music in our schools. So Cynthia, why don't you give us a little background on your music education?
I started singing when I was little, and piano lessons, and then gained a love of music just from my family. And when I entered 5th grade, I started singing in choir with Mrs. Scholten, actually. And then when I was in 6th grade, I started band with Mr. Pratt. And he's the one that taught me how to play the clarinet. And that's where I gained my love of music for band. Up to that point, I had played the piano and just loved that. And it was choir that I got my love for from Mrs. Scholten to sing and really enjoy that. So I had Mr. Pratt and Mrs. Scholten through all those years. And I think I was in 8th grade when I decided I want to be a music teacher, because I wanted to be a teacher, and then I loved music so much that was my career goal in life. I went through the high school program with Scott Gentry and Marshall Pratt and graduated from Sholo High School, and then went to Eastern Arizona College. I too did the 5-year plan as a music major. Went to EAC for 3 years and then transferred to BYU Hawaii and got a degree in music education. From there, I began my teaching career in 2004 at Joseph City, where I taught everything 4th through 12th grade.
Wow.
General music, band, choir, drama, you name it. We did the musicals, everything. 2007, I transferred to Sholo. I wanted to come back home and make a difference in the community where I had started and share my love of music with the kids. And that was such a blessing to be able to come back home and be near my family and to work in a place that I love so much. And since then, I did 5 years at the junior high, and now I'm in year 5 at the high school.
Wow.
So it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, this is year 10 in Sholo. So I'm excited to have made this kind of my career choice. And I've directed 2 musicals, assistant directed another musical, and directed 4 years of Feast of Carols. So it's been a fun and exciting journey and adventure, and I love it.
Well, thank you so much. I am thankful that Sholo schools has maintained their music program when music seems to be getting cut across the state, across the country, really. But Sholo has kept that, and I'm thankful for that. So I've got a few questions for you ladies today. The first one is, why is it important to keep music in our schools? Cynthia?
Music is the all-encompassing subject. It covers everything: math, science, history, English, all of it. And if the kids have music, then they have everything. And without music, they struggle. And thankfully, Sholo Schools has music K through 12. And the kids, it makes such a difference in their lives. And if you don't have that, then you're missing something, because music connects the heart to the brain. And that's where the expression comes out from the kids, as they have all of that combined.
Well, since you're little, you learn little nursery rhymes to help you remember things, and I think that's great. So, how many students would you say are served by the Sholo Schools music program?
Every student K through 5 has general music, and then the junior high, there's probably about 300 students in the choral and band and orchestra program, with maybe another additional 100, maybe 150 in the drama program.
Wow.
And at the high school, we have around 300 students as well that are currently enrolled in guitar, band, orchestra, choir, drama, some kind of music at those levels. So there's a lot of kids that are served at our school district.
That's amazing. Laura, what are your thoughts on why is it important to keep music in the schools?
I believe that music makes us whole. It's the thing that keeps us together. It taught me self-confidence, but it also taught me, besides becoming my own individual person, it taught me to be part of a team. And not a team like running track where somebody runs and gets first place and somebody ends up last place. In music, we take our story that's been written, only it's written in music, and we take that story and we start here all together on the starting line. And the idea is for us to start here on the starting line and end here at the finish line all together. And that's the challenge. So it takes teamwork, but it also takes individual. And I think that, you know, when I was teaching, I would liken it to being part of a team, but where we were all trying to get to that finish line exactly the same. And when we do that, the story that we tell the audience is amazing.
That's great. Okay, so my next question is, how does music impact learning?
Oh, that's huge. In my personal opinion, I think without music, because music, like Cynthia said, it is math, it is science, it is social studies, it is English, and then it's kinesthetic. You're touching, you're moving, you're learning a new language. You're looking at these notes on a page and having to interpret them and then put emotion to them. It's everything. I can't make it big enough to say how important it is. And I don't mean that everybody should be a music teacher, but I just want students to come through the music program and to walk through that door every day smiling, and to walk out that door every day smiling, because they feel like they have a place that they belong. And it really is a family.
It is.
She's still my band kiddo and my choir kiddo. She always will be my child.
Exactly.
Once your child, you never lose them.
Right.
I have about 12,000 of them out there somewhere. But it's the thing that holds everything together, in my opinion. And the studies absolutely prove that studying music helps your ACT scores, helps your standardized testing scores, because of all the things we've talked about.
Well, I have a kind of a story about that. Last year, a couple of my children came home and they were like, "Mom, I did great on AZ merit testing." Really, why do you think that? And they said, well, one of the stories that that was on the assessment we had talked about that in music class. Mr. Celine had gone over a song that they were singing, but it was a poem that was on their AZ Merit test. He didn't know that, but they had discussed the meaning behind it so that they could put the right emotion into it to convey a message. So they understood that poetry because of their music class. I thought that was amazing. Cynthia, what about you? How does music impact learning? What are your thoughts?
I think it helps the kids learn study habits, honestly, because it takes discipline to learn to play an instrument. And so by learning a music skill, they learn discipline of, okay, I have to do my homework. I have to practice it. To get better at something, I have to work at it and work at it and work at it. And then you get good at it. And, you know, music, there, like we said, it's all encompassing. And so how can you not do better at your academic classes when you have music as a part of your life? And really the kids, some of our top scholastic students are involved in the music program and have been for years. And it's interesting to me to see the valedictorians, the salutatorians, the top 10% of the high school graduating classes. A lot of those kids are in music, or they've had music at some point in their life. They've played an instrument. And the studies have shown that, you know, when you just learn to play one instrument, even if you don't become proficient at it, it changes the way your brain works and thinks. And your motor skills are stronger. And it makes a complete difference. So, you know, honestly, why wouldn't you want music? It makes you a better student. So I say every kid in the world should have it because it's that important.
I love that. Thank you. Okay, so then what can our community do to help support music in our schools?
Come to the events. Come and see what the kids are doing. And when the kids know they have an audience to perform for, it makes all the difference in the world. They work so hard. And when people come and see what we're doing, it makes them so happy to share that with them, to share their talents. And I don't know, I guess, you know, be an advocate for music in the schools. If we hear that a program is being cut in any school, stand up to it and say, no, let's find the funding. Let's take care of this program because the kids need it. I had it, so that's why I'm, you know, I want other kids to make sure that they have it. So when someone says, we're going to cut this program, I go fighting for it because I don't believe in cutting these kinds of programs from students. It's not fair.
So show up.
Exactly.
Show up, make your voice heard. Laura, what about you?
And if you're a parent of a student who wants to be in music, please help them. Provide them with the best instrument, with the best, you know, give them an environment at home where they do feel like they can practice and that they do feel like they can become better. And like Cynthia said, show up. The hardest thing is to be at a concert and the concert is over and you've got one or two little kiddos that are waiting for their parents to pick them up because they didn't come to the concert. And God, my heart just, I just want to take those kids and hug them.
Yeah.
You know, well, I was there for you.
Right, right.
So really, and if you're not a parent, you know, there are so many ways you can help. You can do the tax donation to the school district. If you have old instruments laying around, I know when my mom moved, I brought my mom up here to Solterra a few years ago, and she had a really nice electronic piano, and she didn't know what to do with it. I said, Mom, donate it to the school. So we did. We donated it to a school down in the Tucson area, and they were forever thankful for that. So anything that you have, anything that you can do, and bring people to the concerts, they're free for the most part, the regular concerts. I'm sure Cynthia will talk a little bit about Feast of Carols here. And that's not quite free, but boy, is it worth it.
It is.
Right. Well, thank you. I think those are really great things. I know that just the month of October were concerts for all the schools, and in particular, I think that the junior high band concert was one of the best that I've been to lately. And those kids they poured their hearts out. And then the junior high choir concert, there was one young man in the back that he had music in his bones. He couldn't help but move to the music, and you could feel the joy from him, and it just made you happy to watch that. So please do come to these performances. So what are some of the performances that you guys have coming up?
It's going to be a busy Christmas season for all of our groups. We start the month of December actually with the high school performing Feast of Carols, and that will be December 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Each of those performances start at 7 p.m. They're held at Whipple Ranch.
That's a dinner theater.
It is a dinner theater show. We do a dessert night on Thursday night, and those tickets are $8. And then the dinner shows on Friday and Saturday night are $20 each. And those tickets will go on sale November 15th.
Okay.
For the public. So anyone who wants to come, those are available for you to purchase. It's a 6-course meal. So how can you not pass up the opportunity to come for an evening of Christmas entertainment and
audience participation.
Oh yes, and audience participation. You can't
so
forget that.
So if you come, you better be prepared to be part of the fun.
Yes.
Right, you actually are part of the show. The kids are all around you through the whole show. It's a Renaissance theater show for those that haven't been before, and it's incredible. And if you love Christmas music, this is your kind of thing. You seriously won't regret it. We've got kids that are already excited about it. In fact, the first day of school, that's the first thing they ask me about is, when do we start Feast of Carols? And I have to say, don't ask me until November 1st when we begin. But it's great to know that they're excited about it. So we start with Feast of Carols and then Christmas concerts for each of the schools. The high school concert will be Monday, December 19th at 7 p.m. in the auditorium. And then the junior high concert will be Tuesday, December 20th in the auditorium.
Okay.
And then this year, the high school choirs have actually been asked to perform with Michael McLean and the Forgotten Carols, which will be on Thursday, December 22nd. And those tickets are on sale online at ForgottenCarols.com.
That's great.
So it's going to be busy and it's going to be fun.
There's some other community events, though, that you're part of, Laura.
Yes, the White Mountain Symphony. I've been a part of that for 36 years. And our concert is also December 3rd. But it's at 2 p.m. It's in Snowflake at the high school auditorium because last year we actually had to turn people away from NPC.
Oh, wow.
So we are doing a concert at 2 p.m., I believe, and it might be 3 p.m. Can't remember.
Okay.
Symphonies tonight. And we're actually doing a chili and cornbread fundraiser dinner afterwards. But we don't want to discourage people from running back to town for the Electric Light Parade and also for Feast of Carols that night. So that's why we're doing our afternoon concert. And then also, I've been trying to do this. This is like my baby. I'm a band director. That's my joy. That's my love. And I want to start a community band. But because of the number of wind musicians that we have, it's super hard to get them to commit to another night because a lot of the brass and saxophone players, the wind players, already have big band and symphony, and then we want to add another thing. So what I'm looking at doing this next summer is when symphony ends in June, continuing rehearsals and just do like 3 rehearsals and a patriotic concert around July 4th. And high school students would be invited to play. It's no audition. So if you were in my band ever, you're cordially invited to please get out that instrument, dust it off, see if you've got an unbroken reed, and please come play with us this next summer. I'm going to be working on some funding and see if we can't get something so that we can really have a good time. So no audition, no pressure, just come play.
Just come play.
Just come play.
I love it. I love the music program. It's been great for my family, for my children. They have been blessed by both of you and all of the music teachers at the schools. And I think I'm mostly grateful that Sholo has made a commitment to keeping music around in the schools when other schools have cut it. It really does benefit our children. And we have a treat to end the program today. We have some youth from the Sholo High School Choir, the Showbiz Choir, and they will be performing for us. And what song will they be performing?
They're going to do a segment from a piece called Pilgrim Song by Ryan Murphy. Just a short little verse, and that's what we're going to share with you today.
So we're going to end with that. Thank you for watching School Zone, and we look forward to another show next month.
Brethren, I have found a lamb that doth abound with fruit as sweet as honey. The more I eat, I find, the more I am inclined to shout and sing Hosanna. My soul doth long to go where I may fully know the glory of my Savior. And as I pass along, I'll sing the Christian song. I'm going to live forever